Karen threw an illegal wedding on my ranch without permission, so I crashed it with a fire hose and a vengeance. The knock on my door wasn't just loud, it had audacity. I opened it to find the full HOA board standing on my porch like they were about to issue a royal decree, and leading the pack, of course, was Karen, with her signature, "I run everything" smirk, and sunglasses she definitely didn't need. "We've had a meeting," she began like I cared, "and we unanimously agreed your ranch would be perfect for my daughter's wedding. The view, the space, the rustic charm, it screams aesthetic. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama." She handed me a laminated Pinterest board full of sunflowers, wine barrels, fairy lights, and some dude in suspenders holding a chicken. I blinked at it, then at her. "No," I said. "What?" Her smile twitched. "No," I repeated. "Not interested. Not happening." Karen's face fell like a Jenga tower in a toddler's playpen. "But the whole board agrees. It's community-centered. We'd clean up, we'd pay you in exposure." "And if exposure doesn't build fences, Karen," I cut in, "if I let one event happen here, next thing I know, I'm the HOA event center. Weddings, baby showers, HOA potlucks. No thanks. My ranch, my rules." The HOA crew shifted awkwardly behind her. One of them muttered, "Maybe we should ask someone else." But Karen spun around like she was auditioning for Real Housewives of Suburbia. "No, this is the spot. It's my daughter's special day." She turned back to me, her voice dropping into sugary threat mode. "You'll regret this." I just smiled. "Take care now." They walked off in a huff, Karen stomping so hard I thought she'd crack the pavement. As I shut the door, I had that eerie feeling. You know the one that says that lady's gonna cause a scene. But I shrugged it off. What could she do? This was my land. She didn't yell. She didn't scream. She didn't even send a passive-aggressive email afterward. She went radio silent, which was unsettling, especially for someone like Karen. Karen didn't take no like a normal person. Normal people might sigh, complain to a friend, maybe try to bribe you with a gift basket and a bottle of wine. Karen? Oh, Karen entered what I can only describe as the quiet rage phase. First, she tried buttering me up with a fresh baked pie. Left it at my doorstep with a note that said, "Still hoping you'll reconsider, Kay." It smelled like cinnamon and threats. I didn't touch it. Then came the neighbor visits. "Hey," said Tom from 3 doors down. "Karen says you're being kind of unreasonable about the wedding thing. She says it's for the community." I stared at him like he'd grown a third eye. Since when does the HOA care about the community? They fined me last month for having a decorative gnome. Still, Karen wasn't done. The next day, a landscaping crew showed up at my ranch gate. No heads up, no invoice, just 3 guys with trimmers and a clipboard. "We're here to beautify the space for a special event," one said. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my coffee. "Yeah, turn around," I told them. "This space isn't hosting squat." I caught Karen watching from her porch with binoculars. She ducked the moment I spotted her, like a suburban raccoon caught in a trash can. Her final attempt came on a Wednesday evening. She knocked again, alone this time, dressed in a flowing pastel dress like she was already at the wedding. "Listen," she said, all fake sweet. "I know you're hesitant, but it's just one day. Just one. My daughter's heartbroken. This could be a way to bring people together. You know, healing." I looked her dead in the eye. No means no. This conversation is over. Karen didn't yell. She didn't argue. She just blinked, nodded once, and walked away. And that's when I knew something was coming. Karen never gave up that easily. There was a storm brewing, and I could feel it in the air. That calm before the HOA-sized hurricane. But I didn't know how bad it would get. It was a Saturday, birds chirping, sun blazing, and my ranch gate was wide open, which was weird because I never leave it that way. I drove up the path expecting maybe a lost delivery guy or another one of Karen's sketchy landscapers. What I got instead was a full-blown wedding. I hit the brakes so hard my truck skidded sideways. White folding chairs lined the pasture. Fairy lights were strung between trees I didn't even know were tall enough. There was a DJ setting up under a gazebo that wasn't mine, and a caterer arranging shrimp cocktails like this was the freaking Ritz. My land had been hijacked. I jumped out of the truck furious and stormed toward the scene. But before I could get 10 feet, two beefy dudes in matching polo shirts stepped in front of me like I was some wedding crasher. "Sorry, sir, private event," one said. I blinked. "Private? This is my property." They didn't flinch. "We've been contracted by the HOA, security clearance required." "Security clearance," I laughed, more like an unstable cackle. "Buddy, I own the land you're standing on. There's no clearance higher than me." He radioed something into a walkie-talkie. And then there she was, Karen, in a floor-length gown that looked like a prom dress mated with a chandelier. Karen strutted out from the crowd like this was a runway and not my literal front lawn. "Isn't it beautiful?" she called out like we were old friends. "Told you it'd be perfect." I saw red. "You broke in. This is trespassing. Are you out of your mind?" Karen gave a smug little shrug. "We tried being diplomatic, but when the community wants something bad enough, sometimes you have to take initiative." People were clapping. Music was starting. I couldn't believe it. A minister began speaking. A flower girl tossed petals on my vegetable patch. I clenched my fists, turned on my heel, and stomped back to the barn. If Karen wanted to play dirty, I could get muddy real quick. The fire hose was still hooked up. My water pressure was legendary, and I was about to rain on the fanciest day of her life. I dragged the fire hose out like it was a medieval weapon. Every step back toward the wedding felt like gearing up for battle. Guests were laughing, sipping champagne, snapping selfies like they weren't trespassing on my land. I reached the edge of the barn, twisted the valve, and waited for the hiss to turn into full-blast fury. Then, with the hose in my grip like a vengeful flamethrower, I stepped around the corner and let loose. The first spray nailed the string quartet, sending violins and sheet music flying. The cellist screamed. A groomsman slipped in the mud. Karen spun around in horror just as the second blast slammed into her like divine retribution in liquid form. Her hair flattened instantly, mascara streaking, makeup dripping down her cheeks like black rivers of regret. I shouted over the chaos. "Hey, Karen, didn't know trespassing came with a free shower, did you?" "What is wrong with you?" she screeched, soaked and sputtering. "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you breaking into my property with a damn DJ booth?" I hit the bridal arch next, watching it collapse in slow motion like a majestic paper towel roll hitting a puddle. Guests were running for cover, slipping, shrieking, holding their dresses and heels, some of them diving into bushes just to avoid the blast. The shrimp cocktail table took a direct hit and exploded like seafood confetti. Karen tried to rally the HOA security guys. "Get him! He's insane!" But they just stood there, drenched and stunned. One of them actually said, "Ma'am, technically he's defending his property." She gasped like she'd been slapped with a wet glove. "You're all fired." The bride was sobbing, veiled, drenched, mascara melting down her face like she was starring in a Gothic opera. The groom looked like he was rethinking all his life choices. And me? I stood tall, hose in hand, smiling like I just mowed the lawn with justice. Eventually, the cops arrived, but not to arrest me, because guess what? I had it all on security cameras. Unlawful entry, property damage, trespassing. Karen had just married off her daughter on stolen land and got publicly baptized in ranch hose water for her efforts. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below. Would you hose down an uninvited HOA wedding on your ranch? Let me know below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.